Hi everyone, Shai here. I hope all of you are doing good. Welcome to another new video. In the US alone, there are over 1,000 accounts of large skeletons unearthed across various sites in the past 200 years. Often, these skeletons are over 7 feet tall. Across the world, the story is the same, from an ancient Roman giant to an extremely tall pharaoh. Today, we'll be looking at the largest human skeletons ever found. Number 1. Australia's 5-meter skeleton. A group of archaeologists from Adelaide University unearthed a 5.3-meter hominid species at the Uluru Archaeological Site. The discovery of the Uluru Archaeological Site in 2014 by researchers from the Australian National University was, in itself, an exciting find. It led to the discovery of a megalithic civilization that was previously unknown. Near the ruins of that ancient megalithic civilization, archaeologists found the perplexing and extremely large skeleton. According to a University of Adelaide professor, Hans Zimmer, the new find is jaw-dropping. That's because, according to theory, a 5-meter skeleton or hominid should not exist. The professor conceded that the skeleton raises more questions and provides minimal answers. Some experts and archaeologists hypothesize that maybe the specimen suffered from an extreme case of gigantism due to an overproduction of growth hormones. Professor Hans insists that such a hypothesis is pure speculation, and that only further research will help sort out the truth behind the anomaly. Moreover, such a skeleton is not unique, which means that it's only a matter of time before they find another one. When that happens, it'll be easier to come up with a viable conclusion. Number 2. The Amazonian Giants. A British anthropologist, Russell Dement, together with a team of German researchers, excavated 2 settlements in the Ecuador and Peru Amazon regions and found skeletons that measure between 7 and 8 feet in height. However, he noted that for 25 years, he heard from various sources the stories of large Amazonians and, as a result, dedicated his life to studying Aduar and Shuar Amazon indigenous communities. As a result, he was hopeful that further analysis might lend credibility to the stories that he heard. Preliminary studies indicated that the skeletons belonged to healthy humans who showed no signs of diseases such as hormonal growth problems that often cause gigantism. He sent 2 of the skeletons to Freie Universität in Germany for further analysis. Number 3. Ancient Roman Giant. In 1991, during an excavation in Finale, a territory Rome managed, archaeologists found an unusual 6'8" skeleton. In today's world, it's normal to come across people who are 6 feet 8 inches tall. However, in ancient Rome, this was not so. The average height of men in that period was 5.5 feet. Consequently, a 6'8" tall man would have towered over his contemporaries. The archaeological superintendent of Rome at the time noted that during the excavation, the first thing they observed was an abnormally long tomb. Later, during the anthropological examination, they discovered that the bones and limbs were also unusual. Consequently, they sent the skeleton to Simona Minazzi, a paleopathologist at the University of Pisa in Italy. Minazzi's team studied the bones and found skull damage, which is consistent with a pituitary tumor. That kind of tumor affects the pituitary gland and, as a result, it produces excess human growth hormone. Minazzi and his team thus concluded that the skeleton provided enough evidence to support a pituitary abnormality as the cause for gigantism. Before moving on to the next point, I'd like to take a moment to introduce you all to my merchandise. You can support my content by getting your favorite products from my store or by simply joining my channel. Your support means a lot to me. Now, let's get back to the video. Number 4. A very tall pharaoh. Scientists who were part of ongoing research into mummies reported in 2017 that they might have found the oldest case of gigantism. The scientists believe that the remains, which were first unearthed in 1901, belonged to a giant pharaoh of ancient Egypt. Prior research had already proven that these particular remains date back to the 3rd dynasty of Egypt, which is about 2,400 years before Christ. At the time, the average height of men in Egypt was 5 feet 7 inches. However, this particular skeleton would have stood at 6 feet 1.6 inches or 1.987 meters tall. Admittedly, kings of ancient Egypt were better fed and probably grew taller than normal men. However, even with this in mind, the scientists noted that this particular skeleton towered over Ramesses II, who is the tallest recorded pharaoh of Egypt at 5 feet 9 inches. The conclusion, therefore, is that the skeleton's long bones showed signs of gigantism, making the Synok the oldest known case of the disorder. Number 5. Miami Valley 8'1.5" skeleton. In 1899, Edward G. Gebhardt and Edward Kaufman discovered an unusually large fossilized skeleton in Miami Valley, Ohio, while working in a gravel pit. The skeleton belonged to a man who was 8 feet 1.5 inches tall. At the time, it was one of the largest human skeletons ever recorded in human history. Archaeologists noted that the skeleton was of prehistoric age, and according to Dr. Harlan, a dentist in Miamisburg, the skeleton's teeth were in perfect condition and as human as teeth can be. However, scientists who examined the skull discovered that the skull was of a low order, essentially just a shade higher than the Pithecanthropus that Dr. Dubois found in Java. That puzzled scientists because despite other human features, the skeleton skull differed little from the head of a present-day gorilla. So, that was all for today. I hope you have watched the video up to this time stamp. Make sure to press the like button if it amazed you. Press the subscribe button if you still haven't subscribed to the channel, as it's totally free. You can follow me on all social media platforms. All links are given in the description. You can also watch other cool stuff. The playlist link is also mentioned in the description. I will catch you up soon in the next video. Till then, peace out.